Hey guys, it's Brad here. So you've probably seen a lot of people staging their homes to sell recently. Generally they're going to be tenanted homes that the tenants have moved out. They've come in, given it a clean up, brought in some furniture, use that to stage and style the home. What's the reason for this? Well, the reason is we get a lot of people that come into a home, see an empty bedroom or an empty dining room and just can't figure out how the space works. So as soon as you put a bed in there, they go, oh wow, look where the bed fits. Okay, makes sense now. So why do people do it? Look, we think it probably adds about 10 times the cost that it costs you. So if your styling and staging costs you $3,000 to put in, you're probably going to get about $30,000 back in the final sale price. I've got one client that's used a bit of staging 3 times. The first time it was a unit in Newstead rather, and there were a couple of blokes living there. So there was a big wooden bar outside, some big ugly furniture inside, you know, it didn't look that great. Anyway, my client went out and found some furniture on the side of the road on Gumtree, bought a few new cushions that they wanted themselves afterwards, staged the place perfectly. It had some odd shaped rooms, so more diamond or triangular rooms than they were square. So they styled that and staged that, you know, copied what they saw in the magazines and what they saw on the internet and made it look beautiful. You know, it wasn't amazing furniture, you know, in some parts the coffee table, you know, was sort of a bit flimsy and things like that. But I'll tell you what, without it, you know, it just looked very vacant. So the buyer that bought it actually came in for pre-settlement once the whole place was empty, and they said, I would not have purchased this if the furniture wasn't in it. Because once they actually got into these empty rooms, they said, I would never have been able to figure out which wall the bed was meant to go on. So that was their first property I sold for them. The second one, they actually had a couple of kids at this stage, so they didn't have time to do that sort of same staging or styling themselves. So what did they do this time? Look, we went and had a look at the property. Again, a couple of blokes living there, so plastic crate in the corner with a TV on it. You know, it wasn't exactly ideal for marketing. Tenant's lease was coming up, one of them was moving out, the other one was probably going to be looking to buy anyway. So we waited for that to end. They quickly got in, gave it a quick clean, got the stylus in, you know, and again, attracted a buyer in the first week, achieving $40,000 over what they were hoping for. So again, probably only cost them $3,000 and they got $40,000 over where we thought it was. Third property, that was earlier this year. Again, tenants were moving out. They'd bought a place down at the Gold Coast, so they were moving out. These clients, they said, right, we now love staging. We've recommended these stages or stylists to other people now. We're definitely getting them in again. So I didn't even have to tell them what to do in this one. So they got the stylist in, they figured out how the space worked, and I saw some old photos where the kitchen table was at the other end of the room, and I thought, it just doesn't work. Once you actually saw the stylist put all the furniture in, you were like, that's the best way it could be. And again, they styled and staged every room in the house, and including the deck, and you know what? I think we got $150,000 to $200,000 more than they were expecting. Now that's just the market at the time, but at the same time, people were coming in and going, wow, look at this. They weren't looking at the walls and going, oh, that's probably asbestos, and picking away at the floor that might not have been perfectly polished, because they were actually feeling emotionally attached to the property. They were walking in and falling in love with what they saw. That is what styling does. You're going to have the buyers that do the mathematical purchase. They're the ones that aren't going to offer you the most price. They're going to be going, well, the one down the road sold for $800, therefore this one must be worth $810, $820. The person that walks in and goes, oh, this is beautiful, I can imagine myself living here, they're going to pay the most. They're going to be willing to buy that property at all costs. So that is what styling and staging does, and that is why we recommend it for an empty property to achieve the best price. If you want to know more about styling and staging your property, click the link below or above, and there's a bit more information there, including a few tips.